शिवशक्तिसमारम्भां भास्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मच्छ्रीनाथपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ज्ञानिनामपि चेतांसि देवी भगवती हि सा बलादाकृष्य मोहाय महामाया प्रयच्छति दुर्गे स्मृता हरसि भीतिमशेषजन्तोः स्वस्तैः स्मृता मतिमतीव शुभां ददासि दारिद्र्यदुःखभयहारिणि का त्वदन्या सर्वोपकारकरणाय सदार्द्रचित्ता सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरि नारायणि नमोऽस्तु ते शरणागतदीनार्तपरित्राणपरायणे सर्वस्यार्तिहरे देवि नारायणि नमोऽस्तु ते सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवि दुर्गे देवि नमोऽस्तु ते रोगानशेषानपहंसि तुष्टारुष्टातु कामान् सकलानभीष्टान् त्वामाश्रितानां न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिताः ह्याश्रयतां प्रयान्ति सर्वबाधाप्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरि एवमेव त्वया कार्यमस्मद्वैरिविनाशकम् ॐ Welcome everyone. Good evening. Okay, so I think we did about 22 stanzas of the Pradhanika Rahasyam. So we can just do maybe Matangi Ningur half, Panungu and Yogi. Can you do one half? You want to start, Matangi?
अस्त्रे श्री सप्तसति रहस्य त्रयस्य नारायण ऋषिः अनुष्ठुछन्दः श्री महाकाली महालक्ष्मी महासर्वत्यो देवताः यदोक्त बलवाप्यर्थं जपे विनियोगः व्याप्यर्थे वा தம்முன்னு எழுதிருக்கு நான் கரெக்ட் பண்ணிக்கலாம் அதான் பிரியா சொன்னேன்
வாப்பியர்த்தே
ஓகே ராஜோவாச்ச भगवन्नवतारामे चण्डिकायस्त्वयोदिताः एतेषां प्रकृतिं ब्रह्मन् प्रधानं वक्तुम् अर्हसि आराध्यं यन्मया देव्य स्वरूपं येन च ध्वज विधिना ब्रूहि सकलं यदावत् प्रणतस्य मे ऋषिरुवाच इदं रहस्यं परमम् अनाख्येयं प्रचक्षते भक्तोऽसीत न मे किञ्चित् तवा वाच्यं नराधिप सर्वस्यात्या महालक्ष्मी त्रिगुणा परमेश्वरी लक्ष्य स्वरूपा स वाप्या कृष्णं व्यवस्थिता मातुलिङ्गं कदां खेडं पाणपात्रं च पिप्रति नागं लिङ्गं च योनिं च पिप्रति नृपमूर्धनि तप्त काञ्चन वर्णाभा तप्त काञ्चन भूषणा शून्यं तत्किलं स्वेन पूरयामास तेजसा शून्यं तत्किलं लोकं विलोक्यं परमेश्वरी प्रभार परमं रूपं तमसा केवलेन हि सा पिन्नाग्जन संकाशा दंष्ट्रागित वरानना विशाललोचना नारी बभूव तनुमध्यमा कट्कपात्र शिरखेडैर् अलङ्कृत चतुर्भुजा कबन्धहारं शिरसा पिप्राणा हि शिरस्रजं सा प्रोवाच महालक्ष्मीं तमसि प्रमदोत्तमा तप्पा சொல்றேனா
இல்ல இந்த previous word தாமசி
प्रमदोत्तमा नाम कर्म च मे माधर तेहि दुभ्यं नमो नमः तां प्रोवाच महालक्ष्मी तामसीं प्रमदोत्तमां तमामि तव नामानि यानि कर्माणि तानि ते महामाया महाकाली
you can stop there Matangi 11 yeah the second line first word mattum dadami you said something else for that
dadami
yeah.
Okay, I'll start. Mahamaya Mahakali Mahamari Shuddha Trisha Nidra Trishna Sakavira Kala Ratri Turatyaya Imani tava namani Pradipatyani Karmabihi Yebi Karmani te nyatva yotite soshnude sukam tamityuktva mahalashmi swarupam amaram nriba satvakena noti shitena kunend shuddena kunend
அந்த word gune nendu prabham dadau
Chudena kunenendu prabham tau akshamala ing
akshamala, and the ing will come with the previous word. Akshamalang
kushatara veena pustakatarini sa babuva varana nari namanyasya sasatatau Mahavidya Mahavani Bharati Vaksaraswati Arya Brahmahi
Brahmi
Arya Brahmi Kamadenur Veda Garba Sadishwari Adovacha Mahalashmir Mahakalim Sasa Saraswatim Yuvam Janayatam Devyav Midune Swanurupataha Ityuktva Te Mahalashmi Sasarja Midunam Swayam Hiranyagarpau Rusirau Stri Bum
Pumsau
Kamalasanau Brahman Vide Virencheti Tada Virencheti Tata
the Dhatarityaha
Tadarityaha Tamnaram Sri Patme Kamale Lakshmi Daya Madamcha Striyam.
That one word in the middle, Lakshmi Tyaha Mata cha Tam Striyam.
Sri Patme Kamale Lakshmi Tyaha Mata cha Tam Striyam. Mahakali Bharati cha Mithune Stri Jadas Saha Yadayo Rabi Rupani Namani cha Vadamite Neelakantam Raktabahum Shvetankam Chandrashekaram Janayamasa Purusham Mahakali Siddham Striyam.
Second line, first word, you say Janaya, just Janayamasa. There is no A.
Janayamasa Purusham Mahakali Siddham Striyam. Sarudras Shankaras Stanucha Gabarticha Trilochanaha Trayi Vidya Kamadenus Sastri Bhasha Shuraswara
Bhashakshara. The first line, you said Sa Rudras, it's Sa Rudras.
Rudras.
The sa is in Sanskrit he. If you say sa, it becomes she. So it becomes feminine gender in Sanskrit. So because Rudra is a Shankara is a male, it's a sa, Rudra Shankara. Anyway, so just the Rudra there. Okay, we'll continue from 23. Minu, you can be a student, and Sriram, you can be a student. Saraswati, long E, Striyam Gaurim, Krishnam cha Purusham Nripa, Janayamasa Namani, short E, Tayorapi Vadami Te, all short E's. Saraswati Striyam Gaurim, Krishnam cha Purusham Nripa, Janayamasa Namani, Tayorapi Vadami Te.
सरस्वती स्त्रियं गौरीं कृष्णं च पुरुषं नृप जनयामास नामानि तयोरपि वदामि ते सरस्वती स्त्रियं गौरीं कृष्णं च पुरुषं नृप जनयामास नामानि तयोरपि वदामि ते
सरस्वती स्त्रियं गौरीं कृष्णं च पुरुषं नृप जनयामास नामानि दयोरपि वदामि ते सरस्वती स्त्रियं गौरीं कृष्णं स पुरुषं नृप जनयामास नामानि दयोरपि वदामि ते
विष्णुः पुटइः विष्णुः कृष्णो हृषीकेशो वासुदेवो जनार्दनः उमा गौरी सती चंडी sundari subhaga shiva. Like we said last time, it's just talking about the various names of the beings, like all of them, like Vishnu, Krishna, Rishikesha, Vasudeva, Janardana, are all referring to one person only. Uma, Gauri, Sati, Chandi, all referring to one person. Vishnu, Krishno, Hrishikesho, Vasudeva, Janardana, Uma, Gauri, Sati, Chandi, Sundari, Subhaga, Shiva.
विष्णु कृष्णो हृषीकेशो वासुदेवो जनार्दनः उमा गौरी सती चंडी सुंदरी सुभगा शिवा विष्णु कृष्णो हृषीकेशो वासुदेवो जनार्दनः उमा गौरी सती चंडी सुंदरी सुभगा शिवा
विष्णु कृष्णो ऋषिकेशो वासुदेवो जनार्दनः उमा गौरी सती चंडी सुंदरी सुबका शिवा विष्णु कृष्णो ऋषिकेशो वासुदेवो जनार्दनः उमा गौरी सती चंडी सुंदरी सुबका शिवा
एवं युवतयः पुट इस् युवतयस् सद्यः पुट एफ् सद्यः पुरुषत्वं प्रपेदिरे चक्षुष्मन्तो नु पश्यन्ति नेतरेतत् विदो जनाः. That's one word, नेतरेतत् विदो जनाः. एवं युवतयः सद्यः पुरुषत्वं प्रपेदिरे चक्षुष्मन्तो नु पश्यन्ति नेतरेतत् विदो जनाः.
एवं युवदयः सत्यः पुरुषस्त्वं प्रभेदिरे चक्षुष्मन्तो नु पश्यन्ति नेदरे तत्विदो जनाः एवं युवदयः सत्यः पुरुषत्वं प्रभेदिरे चक्षुष्मन्तो नु पश्यन्ति नेदरे तत्विदो जनाः
एवं युवदयः सत्यः पुरुषत्वं प्रभेदिरे चक्षुष्मन्तो नु पश्यन्ति नेदरे तत्विदो जनाः एवं युवदयः सत्यः पुरुषत्वं प्रभेदिरे चक्षुष्मन्तो नु पश्यन्ति नेदरे तत्विदो जनाः
ब्रह्मणे प्रददौ पत्नीं महालक्ष्मीर् इर् साउंड महालक्ष्मीर् नृपत्रयीं रुद्राय गौरीं वरदां वासुदेवाय च श्रियम्. ब्रह्मणे प्रददौ पत्नीं महालक्ष्मीर् नृपत्रयीं रुद्राय गौरीं वरदां वासुदेवाय च श्रियम्.
ब्रह्मणे प्रददौ पत्नीं महालक्ष्मीर्नृपत्रयीं रुद्राय गौरीं वरदां वासुदेवाय च श्रियम् ब्रह्मणे प्रददौ पत्नीं महालक्ष्मीर्नृपत्रयीं रुद्राय गौरीं वरदां वासुदेवाय च श्रियम्
ब्रह्मणे प्रददौ पत्नीं महालक्ष्मीर्नृपत्रयीं रुद्राय गौरीं वरदां वासुदेवाय च श्रियम् ब्रह्मणे प्रददौ पत्नीं महालक्ष्मीर्नृपत्रयीं रुद्राय गौरीं वरदां वासुदेवाय च श्रियम्
स्वरया सह संभूय Virinchondam Ajijanat. It's Virincho Andam Ajijanat, but that R becomes the S symbol. So Virinchondam Ajijanat. Bibheda Bhagavan Rudras Tat Gaurya Saha Viryavan. Swaraya Saha Sambhuya Virinchondam Ajijanat. Bibheda Bhagavan Rudras Tat Gaurya Saha Viryavan.
स्वरया सह सम्भूय विरिञ्च्योण्डमजीजनत् पिबेद भगवान् रुद्रस्तद्गौर्या सह वीर्यवान् स्वरया सह सम्भूय विरिञ्च्योण्डमजीजनत् पिबेद भगवान् रुद्रस्तद्गौर्या सह वीर्यवान्
स्वरया सह सम्भूय विरिञ्जोण्डम् अजीजनत् पिबेत भगवान् रुद्रस्तत्कौर्या सह वीर्यवान् स्वरया सह सम्भूय विरिञ्जोण्डम् अजीजनत् बिबेत भगवान् रुद्रस्तत्कौर्या सह वीर्यवान्
Viryavan, I mean, in sound केकर. This is Viryavan, just regular in sound only.
Oh, तत्कौर्या सह वीर्यवान्.
Yeah. Anda madhye pradhanadi karya jatam abhun nripa maha bhutatmakam sarvam jagat stavara jangamam. Anda madhye pradhanadi karya jatam abhun nripa महाभूतात्मकं सर्वं जगत्स्थावरजङ्गमम्
अण्डमध्ये प्रधानादिकार्यजातमभून्नृप महाभूतात्मकं सर्वं जगत्स्थावरसङ्गमम् अण्डमध्ये प्रधानादिकार्यजातमभून्नृप महाभूतात्मकं सर्वं जगत्स्थावरसङ्गमम्
The last word, Minu, it's Stavarajangamam.
Stavarajangamam.
Okay, I heard it as sa sound, so jang. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
अण्डमध्ये प्रधानाति कार्यजातम् अभून्नृप महाभूतात्मकं सर्वं जगत्स्थावरजङ्गमम् अण्डमध्ये प्रधानाति कार्यजातम् अभून्नृप महाभूतात्मकं सर्वं जगत्स्थावरजङ्गमम्
Puposha palayamasa tal lakshmiya, double l sound, tal lakshmiya saha keshavaha sanjahara jagat sarvam saha gaurya maheshwaraha. Puposha palayamasa tal lakshmiya saha keshavaha sanjahara jagat sarvam saha gaurya maheshwaraha.
पुपोषपालयामास तल्लक्ष्म्या सह केशवः सञ्जहार जगत्सर्वं सह गौर्या महेश्वरः पुपोषपालयामास तल्लक्ष्म्या सह केशवः सञ्जहार जगत्सर्वं सह गौर्या महेश्वरः
पुपोषपालयामास तल्लक्ष्म्या सह केशवः सञ्जहार जगत्सर्वं सह गौर्या महेश्वरः पुपोषपालयामास तल्लक्ष्म्या सह केशवः सञ्जहार जगत्सर्वं सह गौर्या महेश्वरः
महालक्ष्मीर महाराज सर्व सत्वमयीश्वरी निराकारा च साकारा सैव नानाभिधानभृत् नामान्तरैर् निरूप्यैषा नाम्ना नान्येन केनचित्. Mahalakshmir Maharaja Sarva Sattvamayishwarim Nirakara cha Sakara Saiva Nana Bhidhana Bhrita Namantarir Nirupyesha Namna Nanyena Kenachita.
महालक्ष्मीर्महाराज सर्वसत्त्वमयीश्वरी निराकारा च सागारा सैव नानाभिधानभृत् नामान्तरैर्निरूप्यैषा नाम्ना नान्येन केनचित् महालक्ष्मीर्महाराज सर्वसत्त्वमयीश्वरी निराकारा च सागारा सैव नानाभिधानभृत् नामान्तरैर्निरूप्यैषा नाम्ना नान्येन केनचित्
महालक्ष्मीर्महाराज सर्वसत्त्वमयीश्वरी निरागारा च साकारा सैव नानापि दानप्रत् नामान्त्रैर्निरूप्यैषा नाम्ना नान्येन केनचित्.
The last line, first word, Namantarair.
Oh, Namantarair. Okay. महालक्ष्मीर्महाराज सर्वसत्त्वमयीश्वरी निरागारा च साकारा सैव नानापि दानप्रत् नामान्तरैर्निरूप्यैषा नाम्ना नान्येन केनचित्. Om.
Okay, so we'll do the Vaikruthika. I'll give this Vaikruthika Rahasyam, I'll break the meaning into two sections. I'll talk through the first half of it very quickly. So this Vaikruthika Rahasyam, the root word for Vaikruthika is Vikriti. So we see Prakritim, Vikritim, Vidyam, right? So Prakriti is something, things can only come from that. It's like the ultimate source. It cannot be the result of something. That is Prakriti. Vikriti is just something, actually the meaning of Vikriti is, it is something which is transformed, but in that context of Prakritim, Vikritim, it means you are the end also. Like there's nothing beyond you, right? Kind of that is in that context of Lalita Sahasranamam. But anyway, the Vikriti just means some modification or transformation that has actually happened. So this Vaikruthika Rahasyam just means that is related to the divine transformation of this Chandika Mahalakshmi. So which means that the various incarnations and manifestations that she's doing, it is kind of saying this, that one Chandika Mahalakshmi who is undergoing different transformations into different names for different purposes. We already saw that as part of the Devi Mahatmyam. So this one starts by saying there are three of them, which is Mahakali, which is the little bit of the tamas or the, that nature of the Chandika Mahalakshmi is coming as Mahakali, who was responsible for the Madhu Kaitava, which was the chapter 1. Because if you remember, there were three divisions. Aim, Hreem, Kleem, we separated. The Aim was chapter 1, Hreem was 2, 3, and 4, and Kleem was 5 to the rest of it, right? So the first one, which was Mahakali, was the tamasic nature of the Chandika Mahalakshmi, who took care of the Madhu Kaitaba. Then the second was the Mahalakshmi, which is the Hreem. So that is the little bit more rajas, which is passion or action, which took care of Mahishasura. So that was the 2, 3, 4 later chapters. And then the rest of the set was Mahasaraswati, who's pure sattvic nature, pure purity and clarity. So it kind of talks about, you took these three incarnations and says that although you took these three incarnations or transformations, that's where the Vaikruthika word, and within that also we saw different names, Bhadra, Narayani, all these things. He says it's all different manifestations and aspects of you. At the end of the day, you are just the one same Chandika Mahalakshmi from whom everybody is coming for different purposes, right? And then it will go on to describe how each of these characters or incarnations or manifestations have different forms. They all have different symbols associated with them, and they might all have different colors and different weapons. And it says it doesn't mean you cannot say it's their weapons. It just means they have a certain purpose to play, and for them to play that purpose, they have to take a certain form, a certain shape, a certain color, and certain things, tools are needed for them to do that purpose. So that's why it all looks different, and it may all be completely different, but at the end of the day, you are the same thing. It kind of talks about that initially, and then it talks about, and this may not be too relevant for us, but it talks about really when you are placing this Chandika Mahalakshmi, it talks about how you have to place the deities relative to each other. So if you have Shiva, Parvati, Mahavishnu, Lakshmi, Brahma, Saraswati, or Chandika Mahalakshmi, how do you place them relative to each other? It kind of gives that explanation, right? Which is a little bit too technical if you have idols and how you want to place all of those things. And then second half of this talks about the chanting of Devi Mahatmyam itself. It says the chanting of Devi Mahatmyam, it cannot be incomplete. Like, if you're practicing, that is totally fine, right? You want to practice chapter 11 tomorrow, you can practice chapter 11. That's not wrong. But if you're doing it as like a prayer you want to do, right? Like we say, okay, one mandalam I'm going to do Vishnu Sahasranamam. Similarly, when you want to do Devi Mahatmyam as a prayer, it says you cannot just do one portion and not do the rest of the portion. You cannot leave it incomplete like that. The only portion which you can do just that is the Madhyama Charitram, which is chapters 2, 3, and 4. That you can do just that and not do the Prathama Charitram or the Uttama Charitram. That is okay. But it says you cannot just do Uttama Charitram, you cannot just do the Prathama Charitram and ignore the Madhyama and things like that. So it just kind of talks about that. And the only context on, again, Navaratri, when it comes, this whole 13 chapters, there are various ways. Okay, I want to do 13 chapters in 3 days. I want to do it in 5 days. I want to do it in 9 days. So there are various steps of how you can divide that, which is totally fine because you're still doing the entire 13 chapters. But it is in general recitation of Devi Mahatmyam. You cannot leave it incomplete. So you can't just do a few of that and not do the rest, right? Because it says then you won't get the full power of it. You have to do the full thing completely. That's one of the things which kind of comes there. And how you do it in a structured and sequenced way, right? So anyway, so those just kind of talks about all of those things in this Vaikruthika Rahasyam.
Rajesh ji, I just want to share something. Even in music, the 7 swaras, there is Prakriti and Vikruti swaras. Sa and Pa are Prakriti swaras and Riga Madani are Vikruti swaras because they admit change.
Okay. Yeah, that's what the Vikruta, that is the root word itself, means change or transformation. So
Rajesh, I had a quick question. So remember you said in the beginning that Devi Mahatmyam either fulla Cholamudalana, we can say Kunjika Stotram instead of Devi Mahatmyam, right? Either Ninga Persona explanation was just for the chapters.
Correct. Yeah. You can just do Devi Kavacham on its own. You can just do Siddha Kunjika Stotram on its own. This is just talking about the 13 chapters because the 13 chapters are written in such a way that they inherently unknown to us. It's building on each other, right? So that's why it says you cannot just leave it at half, or you cannot start from the middle and do the rest, right? So it applies only to those 13 chapters.
Okay. Thank you.
So Rishiruvacha Triguna Tamasi Devi Satviki, all of them long is Ya Tridhodita Sa Sharva Chandika Durga Bhadra Bhagavati Yate. Rishiruvacha Triguna Tamasi Devi Satviki Ya Tridhodita Sa Sharva Chandika Durga Bhadra Bhagavati Yate.
Rishiruvacha Triguna Tamasi Devi Sattvikiya Tridhodita Sa Sharva Chandika Durga Bhadra Bhagavatiryate. Rishiruvacha Triguna Tamasi Devi Sattvikiya Tridhodita Sa Sharva Chandika Durga Bhadra Bhagavatiryate.
Rishiruvacha Trikunatamasi Devi Satvi Kiya Tritotita Sa Sarva Sandiga Durga Bhadra Bhagavatir Yade.
And the first line, Satviki, the key is a long key, but the V is a short V.
Okay. Rishiruvacha Trikunatamasi Devi Satvikiya, Satvikiya, right?
Satviki.
Trikunatamasi Devi Satvikiya Tritotita Sa Sarva Chandika Durga Bhadra Bhagavatir Yade.
Yoga Nidra Hare Rukta Mahakali Tamoguna Madhu Kaithabha Nashartam Yam Tushtavambhujasanaha. Tushtava Ambujasanaha, lotus-eyed Vishnu who was awakened to this. Yoga Nidra Hare Rukta Mahakali Tamoguna Madhukaitabha Nashartam Yam Tushtavambhujasanaha.
योगनिद्राहरेरुक्ता महाकाली तमोगुणा मधुकैटभनाशार्तं यां तुष्टावाम्बुजासनः योगनिद्राहरेरुक्ता महाकाली तमोगुणा मधुकैटभनाशार्तं यां तुष्टावाम्बुजासनः
योगनिद्रा हरेरुक्ता महाकाली तमो गुणा मधुकैटभनाशार्दं यां दुष्टावां भुजासनः योगनिद्रा हरेरुक्ता महाकाली तमो गुणा मधुकैटभनाशार्दं यां दुष्टावां भुजासनः.
The tushta vambhujasanah, like try to say it as one word, okay? Dasha vaktra, dasha bhuja, dasha padanjana prabha, vishalaya rajamana, trimshal lochana malaya. Dasha vaktra, dasha bhuja, dasha padanjana prabha, vishalaya rajamana, trimshal lochana malaya.
दशवक्त्रा दशभुजा दशपादाञ्जनप्रभा विशालया राजमाना त्रिंशल्लोचनमालया दशवक्त्रा दशभुजा दशपादाञ्जनप्रभा विशालया राजमाना त्रिंशल्लोचनमालया
दशवक्त्रा दशभुजा दशपादाञ्जनप्रभा विशालया राजमाना त्रिंशल्लोचनमालया.
Second line, first word, vishalaya, sha sound, okay?
दशवक्त्रा दशभुजा दशपादाञ्जनप्रभा विशालया राजमाना त्रिंशल्लोचनमालया.
Again on the second line, vishalaya, sha sound, and trimshal lochana, sha.
विशालया राजमाना त्रिंशल्लोचनमालया.
Rajesh ji, what is the meaning of Trimshal Lochana?
Yeah, so it says that this Mahakali, which is the first one which is describing, like we said, the chapter 1, Madhukaitaba Mahakali. So she has Dasha Vaktra, 10 faces, 10 arms, and each of the face has 3 eyes. So Trim Shat is like 30. So because each face has 3 eyes, 10 faces is 30 eyes. Describing. So each of them kind of describes how she looks in that. Spurat Dashana Damshtra Sa Bhima Rupapi Bhumipa Rupa Saubhagya Kantinam Sa Pratishtha Mahashrayah. So like here you see the word Sa is coming in all these places because it's referring to the feminine aspect here, right? So that's why it's saying she, right? She.
Mahashriyah or Mahashrayah?
Mahashriyah is what
Yeah, I have Shriya. Okay.
Okay, Shriya. Shriyam as an auspiciousness under Shriya. Spurad dashana damshtrasa bhima rupapi bhumipa rupa saubhagya kantinam sapratishtha mahashriyah.
Spurad dashana damshtrasa bhima rupapi bhumipa रूप सौभाग्य कांतीनां सा प्रतिष्ठा महाश्रियः स्फुरद्दशन दंष्ट्रासा भीम रूपापि भूमिप रूप सौभाग्य कांतीनां सा प्रतिष्ठा महाश्रियः
स्फुरद्दशन दंष्ट्रास भीम रूपापि भूमिप रूप सौभाग्य कांतीनां सा प्रतिष्ठा महाश्रियः स्फुरद्दशन दंष्ट्रास भीम रूपापि भूमिप रूप सौभाग्य कांतीनां सा प्रतिष्ठा महाश्रियः.
The first line, first line is sa. Where did it go?
Spurat. Rajesh?
Spurat dashana damshtrasa.
Okay. Spuratana damshtrasa bhima rupapi bhumipa rupa saubhagya gandhinam sa pradishta mahasriyaha.
Khadga bana gada shula chakra shanka Bushundi Brit Parigam Karmukam Shirsham Nischyotad Rudiram, but you can't quite, you don't have to break it that way. You try to say it together. Nischyotad Rudiram Dadau.
ஒரே ஒரு செகண்ட் அந்த சங்க புஷுண்டியா
Bushundi, that is kind of like a kind of a weapon.
புஷுண்டி பிருத
Brita, yeah, Brit, it at the end.
பிருத்
Bushundi Brit. Khadgabana Gadashula Chakra Shanka Bushundi Brit Parigam Karmukam Shirsham Nischyotad Rudiram Dadau.
யூஸ்வலா சங்கு சக்கரன்னு சொல்லுவாள்ல, இங்க சக்கர சங்க மாறி வந்து
Generally, most of the time, you are right. We are used to saying Shank Chakra, but நிறைய இடத்துல Chakram and Shankam they change the order also.
This is he's holding all weapons.
Sorry, what is it? Yeah.
She's holding all these weapons, Nartham.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's going to the description of this Mahakali first, saying she's holding all of these things.
खड्गबाण गदा शूल चक्र शंख भुषुंडी भृत परिगम कार्मुकम शीर्षम निश्च्योदद्रुदिरम ददौ.
And the Bushundi short E. You just stretch this.
Bushundi.
Short.
खड्गबाण गदा शूल चक्र शंख भुषुंडी भृत परिगम कार्मुकम शीर्षम निश्च्योदद्रुदिरम ददौ.
कट्कबाण कदाशूल चक्र शंख पुष्ण्डिभृत परिगम कार्मुकं शीर्षं निश्च्योदद्रुदिरं ददौ. कट्कबाण कदाशूल चक्र शंख पुष्ण्डिभृत परिगम कार्मुकं शीर्षं निश्च्योदद्रुदिरं ददौ.
Okay, let's switch up. Okay? In fact, I was thinking, even in the Narayaniyam Dhyana Stokam, right, it will be Pitambaram Karavirajita Chakra Shanka only. So a lot of places, although we are used to saying Shank Chakra, if you look at all these stokas which are there, it always puts Chakram first. Because if you kind of look from the left to right, depends on how you're looking at it. If you look left to right, maybe that comes first. Anyway, Lavanya, you can be student, and Malini, you can be student. एषा सा वैष्णवी माया महाकाली दुरत्यया आराधिता वशी कुर्यात् पूजा कर्तुश्चराचरम्. एषा सा वैष्णवी माया महाकाली दुरत्यया आराधिता वशी कुर्यात् पूजा कर्तुश्चराचरम्.
एषा सा वैष्णवी माया महाकाली दुरत्यया आराधिता वशी कुर्यात् पूजा कर्तुश्चराचरम्. एषा सा वैष्णवी माया महाकाली दुरत्यया आराधिता वशी कुर्यात् पूजा कर्तुश्चराचरम्.
एषा सा वैष्णवी माया महाकाली धुरत्यया आराधिता वशी कुर्यात् पूजा कर्तुश्चराचरम्. एषा सा वैष्णवी माया महाकाली धुरत्यया आराधिता वशी कुर्यात् पूजा कर्तुश्चराचरम्.
सर्व देव शरीरेभ्यो याविर्भूतामित, one word, भूतामित प्रभा त्रिगुणा सा महालक्ष्मीः, put is Mahalakshmi, Sakshan Mahishamardini. So this is now going to talk about Mahalakshmi as the second. सर्वदेव शरीरेभ्यो याविर्भूतामित प्रभा त्रिगुणा सा महालक्ष्मी साक्षान् महिषमर्दिनी.
सर्वदेव शरीरेभ्यो याविर्भूतामित प्रभा त्रिगुणा सा महालक्ष्मी साक्षान् महिषमर्दिनी. सर्वदेव शरीरेभ्यो याविर्भूतामित प्रभा त्रिगुणा सा महालक्ष्मी साक्षान् महिषमर्दिनी.
Rajesh, your quick question. Double S எதுக்கு கொடுக்குறா? ஒரு S double S.
Where are you thinking? Oh,
யாவிர்ல double S.
Avirbhuta, Avirbhavikkirathu, right? Avirbhuta. So one who came, incarnate from all these devas, energies coming, right? So I don't know why my thing keeps closing today for whatever reason. Give me 1 second.
Oh, ஆக்கு ஒரு 1S, ஆக்கு வந்து double S ஆ?
Yeah. So அது என்னன்னாக்கா, anytime there is a or a O which is preceding a or a it becomes they put the F symbol. So generally when you say there's a O and then there is a then they'll put 1S. So here there is Avirbhuta, so double S.
सर्वदेव शरीरेभ्यो याविर्भूतात्मितप्रभा त्रिगुणा सा महालक्ष्मी साक्षान् महिषमर्दिनी. सर्वदेव शरीरेभ्यो याविर्भूतामितप्रभा त्रिगुणा सा महालक्ष्मी साक्षान् महिषमर्दिनी.
श्वेतानना नीलभुजा सुश्वेत स्तनमण्डला रक्तमध्या रक्तपादा नीलजङ्गोरुरुन्मधा. श्वेतानना नीलभुजा सुश्वेतस्तनमण्डला रक्तमध्या रक्तपादा नीलजङ्गोरुरुन्मधा.
श्वेतानना नीलभुजा सुश्वेत स्तनमण्डला रक्तमध्या रक्तपादा नीला जङ्घोरुन्मदा.
नीलजङ्गोरुरुन्मधा.
Okay. श्वेतानना नीलभुजा सुश्वेत स्तनमण्डला रक्तमध्या रक्तपादा नीलजङ्घोरुन्मदा.
श्वेतानना नीलभुजा सुश्वेतस्तनमण्डला रक्तमध्या रक्तपादा नीलजङ्घोरुन्मदा. श्वेतानना नीलभुजा सुश्वेतस्तनमण्डला रक्तमध्या रक्तपादा नीलजङ्घोरुन्मदा.
Some of the words here, kind of, if you break it, it's very easy to understand. Shvetanana, Shvetam is white. So Shvetanana is generally somebody who's very clear faced. Neela Bhuja, Bhujam is arms, Neelam is blue. So she's got a clear face, but she's got blue color arms. Then Sushveta, again Shveta, white. Sthanam refers to breast, so white colored breast. Then Rakta Madhya, the middle portion of her body is red color, Raktam. And Rakta Pada, the feet is also red. And then Jangoru is Uru is referring to thighs. So the thighs are blue in color, Neela, blue color thighs. So kind of like, white and then, little bit of blue and red and everything. The feet is red, middle portion is red, but how the thighs are blue. So it's a combination of blue and red. Generally that is referring to blue and red generally means it is generally tamasic in nature, but however this is a bit rajas because of Mahalakshmi. So I don't know why that color combination is coming here, but anyway, that is the description here. Suchitra Jagana Chitra Chitram Alyambhara Vibhushana Chitranu Lepana Kanti short E Rupa Saubhagya Shalini. Suchitra Jagana Chitra Malyambhara Vibhushana Chitranulepana Kanti Rupa Saubhagya Shalini.
सुचित्र जगना चित्र माल्याम्बर विभूषणा चित्रानुलेपना कांति रूप सौभाग्यशालिनी. सुचित्र जगना चित्र माल्याम्बर विभूषणा चित्रानुलेपना कांति रूप सौभाग्यशालिनी.
सुचित्रजगना चित्रमाल्याम्बरविभूषणा चित्रानुलेपना कान्तिरूपसौभाग्यशालिनी. सुचित्रजगना चित्रमाल्याम्बरविभूषणा चित्रानुलेपना कान्तिरूपसौभाग्यशालिनी.
Ashtadasha Bhuja Pujya Sa sahasra bhuja sati ayudhan yatra bakshiyante dakshinadha is there. Put a ich dakshinadha karakramat. So we saw for the previous Mahakali came, it says dasha, 10 arms, 10 faces and 30 eyes, right? So here Ashtadasha, although she has thousands of arms, Lep Sahasra Bhuja, even though she has thousands of arms, she's generally worshipped with Ashtadasha, 18 arms. So 18 armed. And then in the next stanzas, they start talking about all the things she's holding. And I think it is from they have an order, I think lowermost right. So in the lowermost right, they'll kind of start going through the 18 arms and what she's carrying in each of those arms. अष्टादश भुजा पूज्या सा सहस्रभुजा सती आयुधान् यत्र वक्ष्यन्ते दक्षिणादः करक्रमात्.
अष्टादशभुजा पूज्या सा सहस्रभुजा सती आयुधान्यत्र वक्ष्यन्ते दक्षिणादः करक्रमात्. अष्टादशभुजा पूज्या सा सहस्रभुजा सती आयुधान्यत्र वक्ष्यन्ते दक्षिणादः करक्रमात्.
अष्टादशभुजा पूज्या सा सहस्रभुजा सती आयुधान्यत्र वक्ष्यन्ते दक्षिणाः करक्रमात्. अष्टादशभुजा पूज्या सा सहस्रभुजा सती आयुधान्यत्र वक्ष्यन्ते दक्षिणाः करक्रमात्.
So Dakshina actually means, you say Dakshina is offering. What you offer to a priest is a Dakshina. Dakshina is referring to either the south direction or the right direction. It's also called Dakshina. So if you put an A, it changes the meaning of it. So in this case, Dakshina Adaha. That means it's in the right side. They're saying, I'm going to start from the lower right. Akshamala cha kamalam banosihi, put ih banosih, kulisham gada, chakram trishulam parashuhu, put ish parashush, shanko ghanta cha pashakah. Akshamala cha kamalam banosih, kulisham gada, chakram trishulam parashush, shanko ghanta cha pashakah.
अक्षमाला च कमलं बाणो सिःकुलिसं गदा चक्रं त्रिशूलं परशुः शङ्खो घण्टा च पाशकः. अक्षमाला च कमलं बाणो सिःकुलिसं गदा चक्रं त्रिशूलं परशुः शङ्खो घण्टा च पाशकः.
Lavanya, and the first line, second last word, kulisham, sha sound, okay? Kulisham gada.
अक्षमाला च कमलं बाणो सिःकुलिशं गदा चक्रं त्रिशूलं परशुः शङ्खो घण्टा च पाशकः. अक्षमाला च कमलं बाणो सिःकुलिशं गदा चक्रं त्रिशूलं परशुः शङ्खो घण्टा च पाशकः.
Katir dandash charma chapam pana patram kamandaluhu alankrita bhujamebhir. The ra that is there, you break it into ir and a. Alankrita bhujamebhir ayudhaihi, put a ich, ayudhaih kamalasana. So sitting on a lotus flower. She carries all of these things. It's the last two stanzas where all the things she's carrying. शक्तिर्दण्डश्चर्मचापं पानपात्रं कमण्डलुः अलङ्कृतभुजामेभिरायुधैः कमलासनाम्.
शक्तिर्दण्डश्चर्मचापं पानापात्रं कमण्डलुः अलङ्कृतभुजाम् एभिरायुधैः कमलासनाम्. शक्तिर्दण्डश्चर्मचापं पानापात्रं कमण्डलुः अलङ्कृतभुजाम् एभिरायुधैः कमलासनाम्.
Lavanya, on the first line, then you pana patram, you're saying it's pana patram.
Pana patram, okay.
शक्तिर्दण्डैश्चर्मचापं पानपात्रं कमण्डलुः अलङ्कृतभुजामेभिरायुधैः कमलासनाम्
Ayudaih sound. Ayudaih.
कमलासनां शक्तिदण्डैश्चर्मचापं पानपात्रं कमण्डलुः अलङ्कृतभुजामेभिरायुधैः कमलासनाम्
The first word, Malini. Shaktir Dandash Charma.
दण्डश ओके दण्डैर्
Yeah, Dandai. Yeah, I heard the I sound there. Yeah.
शक्तिदण्डश्चर्मचापम् ओके
Sarva Deva Misham. Sarvadeva Misham. Mahalakshmim Imam Nripa. You don't have to break Imam. If you want to, Mahalakshmim Imam Nripa. Pujayet Sarva Lokanam Sa. See that word, some books have Devanam, okay, but it's actually a lot of people say it as Devanam. So if you have Devanam, just change it to Devanam there. Sa Devanam Prabhur Bhavet. Sarvadeva Mahimisham Mahalakshmi Mimam Nripa. Pujahet Sarva Lokanam Sadevanam Prabhur Bhavet.
सर्वदेवमयीम् ईशां महालक्ष्मीम् इमां नृप पूजयेत् सर्वलोकानां सदेवानां प्रभुर्भवेत् सर्वदेवमयीम् ईशां महालक्ष्मीं इमां नृप पूजयेत् सर्वलोकानां सदेवानां प्रभुर्भवेत्
सर्वदेवमयीमीशां महालक्ष्मीमिमां नृप पूजयेत् सर्वलोकानां सदेवानां प्रभुर्भवेत् सर्वदेवमयीमीशां महालक्ष्मीमिमां नृप पूजयेत् सर्वलोकानां सदेवानां प्रभुर्भवेत्
Gauri Dehat Samudbhuta Ya Satvaika Gunashraya Sakshat Saraswati Prokta Shumbhasura Nibharhini. Long E. Gauri Dehat Samudbhuta Ya Satvaika Gunashraya Sakshat Saraswati Prokta Shumbhasura Nibharhini.
गौरी देहात् समुद्भूता या सत्वैकगुणाश्रया साक्षात् सरस्वती प्रोक्ता शुम्भासुरनिबर्हिणी गौरी देहात् समुद्भूता या सत्वैकगुणाश्रया साक्षात् सरस्वती प्रोक्ता शुम्भासुरनिबर्हिणी
गौरी देहात् समुद्भूता या सत्वैकगुणाश्रया साक्षात् सरस्वती प्रोक्ता शुम्भासुरनिबर्हिणी गौरी देहात् समुद्भूता या सत्वैकगुणाश्रया साक्षात् सरस्वती प्रोक्ता शुम्भासुरनिबर्हिणी
Dhadau Chashtabhuja. Cha Ashtabhuja. So 8 hands. Chashtabhuja Bhana Musale Shula Chakra Bhrite Shankam Ghantam Langalam Cha Karmukam Vasudha Dipa. Dhadau Chashtabhuja Bhana Musale Shula Chakra Bhrite Shankam Ghantam Langalam Cha Karmukam Vasudha Dipa.
ददौ चाष्टभुजा बाणमुसले शूलचक्रभृत् शङ्खं घण्टां लाङ्गलं च कार्मुकं वसुधाधिप ददौ चाष्टभुजा बाणमुसले शूलचक्रभृत् शङ्खं घण्टां लाङ्गलं च कार्मुकं वसुधाधिप.
A second time, Lavanya, you Chashta, you said Chashtabhuja.
Chashtabhuja.
Langalamna enadhu? What is this?
I think there's a ghanta is referring to the bell. The langalam is something, maybe I don't know what exactly it is. You know, it must be one of the things she's carrying. Yeah. I don't know what langalam is.
Rhymes nicely.
And then?
Rhymes nicely in langalam.
Ghanta is bell, that is clear. Yeah.
तदौ चाष्टभुजा बाणमुसले शूलचक्रभृत् शङ्खं घण्टालाङ्गलं च कार्मुकं वसुधाधिप
Gantam.
घण्टामा எங்க விட்ட
Ganta, you said. Gantam.
घण्टां लाङ्गलं च कार्मुकं वसुधाधिप तदौ शाष्टभुजा बाणमुसले शूलचक्रभृत् शङ्खं घण्टां लाङ्गलं च कार्मुकं वसुधाधिप.
Esha.
Rajesh, ஒன்னுல she is holding something அப்படி சொல்றது இல்ல அதோ சாஷ்ட புஜா பான சோ பான வந்து ஷோல்டர்ல வச்சிருக்கா முசலே சூல சக்கரபிரத் அந்த மாதிரி ஒன்னு
Bujam. Ashta bujam, 8 hands.
8 hands la she is having each of these things, right? Like bana, shula, chakra அதெல்லாம். So shangam சங்கு மாதிரி இருக்கிற கழுத்துல வந்து she is wearing something அப்படியா?
இல்ல Shankam is one of the things she's holding. Each of this is one of the things like Bhana, Musale, Shula, Chakra, Shulam, Chakram, Shankam, Ghantam, Langalam, Karmukam. All of these are the things she's holding. Like just like how in the previous one, you know, Ashtadasha Bhuja, 18, right? And then it started saying Akshamala, Kamalam, Banaha, Kulisham, Gada, Shakram, Trishulam, Parashu, Shanka, Ganta. Each of those are one word. But you have to, because of the Sanskrit rules, it will either end with the im, o, alam, podua, but you have to get the root word. The root word is the thing that she's holding.
Langalam means
plow.
Farmer, like a farmer plow.
Oh, okay.
Google.
Yeah.
Another what is it?
Plow. Like hala is what they say. Langalam, halam. Balarama carries the hala, right, which is the plow. But I don't know, maybe langalam also means it. Yeah, okay.
English long, Sanskrit long, onnu pola irukku.
Langalam. Esha, maybe do one more. Esha sampujita bhaktya sarvajñatvam prayachati, short e. Nishumbha matini devi shumbhasura nibarhini. Remember, this is the Saraswati. Mahasaraswati is the one from chapter 5 on, which is Shumbha, Nishumbha, and all of them. Esha sampujita bhaktya sarvajñatvam prayachati nishumbhamatini devi shumbhasura nibarhini.
येषा सम्पूजिता भक्त्या सर्वज्ञात्वं प्रयच्छति निशुम्भमथिनी देवी शुम्भासुरनिबर्हिणी. एषा सम्पूजिता भक्त्या सर्वज्ञत्वं प्रयच्छति निशुम्भमथिनी देवी शुम्भासुरनिबर्हिणी.
एषा सम्पूजिता भक्त्या सर्वज्ञत्वं प्रयच्छति निशुम्भमतिनी देवी शुम्भासुरनिबर्हिणी. एषा सम्पूजिता भक्त्या सर्वज्ञत्वं प्रयच्छति निशुम्भमथिनी देवी शुम्भासुरनिबर्हिणी.
One more. Ityuktani swarupani murtinam tava parthiva upasanam jaganmatuhu, put a F, jaganmatuh pritaghasam nishamaya. Say ityuktani. I've told you about the forms of the three goddesses. Now let me tell you what is the way of worshipping them. Upasanam, how do you do upasana to the three goddesses? Ityuktani swarupani murtinam tava parthiva upasanam jaganmatuh pritaghasam nishamaya. That one is just one time.
इत्युक्तानि स्वरूपाणि मूर्तीनां तव पार्थिव उपासनं जगन्मातुः पृथगासं निशामय. पृथगासां निशामय.
इत्युक्तानि स्वरूपाणि मूर्तीनां तव पार्थिव उपासनं जगन्मातुः पृथगासां निशामय.
Stop here today. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Bye.